Podcast 32. Follow your heart.
Awaken the leader inside. Follow the path of leadership. Never give up. Never stop trying. Get up. Believe in yourself. Not every day is going to be easy, but you've got to challenge yourself. You need courage. Be ready. Stop waiting for it to happen. Go make it happen. Harness the power within. You were destined to be a leader. Follow the path of leadership. Awaken the leader inside.
Podcast 32. Follow your heart. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. My name is Rubalcava, and I'm your host here at Awaken the Leader Inside. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode, and if you're new, I appreciate you finding our podcast, and I think you're going to enjoy it. So hey guys, I've been getting a lot of questions about knowing when to follow your heart on so many different levels. So before we kind of dig into that, I just kind of want to set it up. So there's times in your career that you can be the greatest leader. You can be successful. You can be great at executing and building teams, but sometimes the situations that you're in may not be the right fit for you. And so as I've come across leaders and I talk with even you guys, I get emails and things, there's kind of the same theme that I've had to make decisions in my own career at times where even though I was successful, I wasn't really sure if this was the right fit for me. And here's the hard thing is that sometimes you have to make hard decisions, whether you can continue pursuing a career with a company or maybe it's time to move on because you can't find success. And I want you to kind of think about that they're really two different things, because I think sometimes we measure success based on your ability to grow with a company. And if you don't grow with a company, then sometimes we feel like we failed. And I want to share with you the truth is that sometimes you may not be in the right fit for your leadership to grow. And that's the truth, you guys. I've talked with hundreds of people. I've worked with thousands of people. And I've actually had to have those conversations with associates and even leaders to let them know, like, maybe this just isn't the right fit for you. And those are hard conversations. And so when I'm talking to people about it, it's really a gray area. So it's really difficult because everybody has a different need. Everybody has different goals. Everybody has different passion. And so when it comes to making all of these difficult decisions, understanding what your goals are and understanding what your overall goals to find success is going to vary. But at the core of it, you have to listen to the one thing that matters, and that's listening to your heart. So let's talk about that for a little bit. Why is that so important? I'm going to tell you some things, and this is just coming from me deep down inside. I've gone through this over, the course of my career where I had to make really difficult decisions, even at the peak of my career, that things just weren't the right fit for me because my heart was telling me that this was not the right fit. And I can give you some examples of when I recognized it. The one was the enthusiasm and passion started to disappear, even though I was successful, even though I was executing, because I am a professional and I held on to my leadership and I did my job and I gave it everything I had inside, but I didn't have the passion anymore. And that kind of taught me I could still be successful even without passion. It's called being professional and still delivering results. But what I learned is that over time, it'll start to affect you. When you start to lose passion, you're going to start to have those difficult days where it becomes harder and harder to walk into, your building or walk into your office or whatever position you're in. It becomes more and more challenging to walk in. And so you're going to start to feel sometimes that maybe this just isn't the right fit. And I'm going to tell you, I went through that journey multiple times over the last maybe 6 or 7 years. And I had to make decisions about what I want to do. What was I passionate about? What am I good at? And what can I do to connect my passion to it? And that's important, you guys, because I think what it comes down to is we all need fuel, right? Just like a car, we need fuel. We need something to feed the fire. And you got to find something that helps you stoke that fire, makes you excited to want to come in every day because you're contributing. If you can find that and align that with your leadership, oh man, you are going to be successful, because being hungry and passionate sometimes, and this is my personal opinion, is more effective than actual experience, because that hunger and desire and that drive to want to be good at something and narrow your focus and sharpen your focus puts so much energy into moving the ball. And when you lose that, it just becomes boring, quite honestly, or maybe it's not challenging. And so that fuel, it doesn't exist. And sometimes we have to recognize and listen to our heart when the fuel gauge is starting to become empty. And on another note, like, I've had people ask me, so when do I know it's time to kind of move on? I've done this job and I've grown and I just don't. There comes a point in your leadership as well when you recognize that my leadership is no longer growing. That can become another source of you making a decision of whether or not that this is the right fit for you anymore, is that if your goal is to continue to grow and in the environment that you're in is not allowing you to do that, then at some point you have to make a life decision, guys. And I'm telling you this, and I'm not advising you guys to job hop or do anything like that, but it's the truth. Because if you're not growing and you don't have an outlet to grow, then at some point your frustration is going to kick in. Your frustration of being stagnant and seeing no future is another source that can remove the fuel. And so you have to learn to recognize that. Like I said, I've been in positions where I've been successful over the last 20 years. And some of those roles I was successful in, but my heart wasn't in it. And then I've been in roles where my heart's in it and I recognize there's no room to grow. So I've been there. At the end of the day, you have to be happy with what you do. I think that's so important. That's such a critical piece to even finding success in anything, is that your morale needs to stay high. And you're going to have peaks and valleys. I have them as well. You have great days and you have days like, man, what the heck just happened today? I just got steamrolled and it was a rough day. It's going to happen. But at the core, if you have passion about what you're doing, it keeps you engaged. So if you're having a hard time right now and you feel like, man, I'm working really hard, I'm trying to grow, and I just don't feel like I have, the support or the resources, you can always connect with your leaders and kind of put it on the table and say, hey, this is what I want in my career. And, what are my opportunities? And that's actually happened to me many years ago, where I said, hey, these are my goals. And they say, that's not going to happen. Okay, I get it then. That's cool. It's business. I understand. I don't have room to grow here. I'm going to go somewhere else. And I did. And so those things that's just part of business sometimes, guys. But as a leader, you have to take action to course correct your path in life and your path in leadership. So there's going to come a point where you may have to have those honest conversations with your direct leaders and say, hey, this is what I want out of my career. Is this somewhere where I can go? And if the answer is no, then okay, then you may have to make a choice, or say, hey, it may take a few years. Okay, I can accept that. You're going to have to make a choice, a life choice, whether that's the right fit for you. Now, I will tell you that these types of things become very scary the first time that you do it because it's scary not knowing where to go next. That's the hard part. But if you're smart, and I know you are, right, you start to research those resources now and figure out what's out there that aligns with what I want to accomplish in my life. And you're going to find it. The challenge is to get in the door, but I'm saying it's out there for you. You gotta be realistic and be honest about whether or not where you're at is the right fit for you by listening to your heart. You gotta listen to it, because you're gonna feel that growing, I don't even know how to explain it, that growing void inside that is telling you that you do not belong here anymore. And at some point, you can ignore it for a while. At some point, it's going to spill over into your workload and affect your reputation. So you have to make a choice sometimes. So I want to leave you with this, guys. Listening to your heart is the first indicator that something is either going well or something's not. And in this case, it may not be going well for you, or it may not be the right fit. You have to really listen to your heart and listen to what it's telling you. And sometimes it has effects on your body, whether it's anxiety, whether it's sleep deprivation. Like, those are all the cues that I dealt with, even in my own career, where like, hey man, something's not right here. And this is causing me to have these types of issues. Maybe this isn't the right fit for me. So I want you guys to think about where you're at, and think about, what you're dealing with right now. And you may have to make hard life decisions. But hey, the cool thing is there's people out there that have gone through that. I've gone through that. You're always more than welcome to reach out to me and shoot me an email at david@awakenthelleaderinside.com, and I can give you some advice about it. I've gone through it. I've lived it. But at some point, if you don't make these difficult decisions, it starts to affect your happiness. So I want you to think about where you're at right now. And if everything's going great, that's awesome. That means you found your passion, you're listening to your heart, you're engaged with what you want, you set your goals, and you're going out there and making it happen. And if you're not, that's okay too. Because recognizing what's happening to you is so important, because it'll give you a roadmap of how to get out of it and how to make the next step in your career to get you closer to what you want to do. Don't be on the sidelines watching and waiting for things to happen to you, because they may never happen to you in that position or in that role. You have to go out and be relentless and chase this and chase your goals to what you want to do. And ultimately, that will lead to your happiness and your success. And I really, truly believe that. I've had to live that. And I've had to open up my own opportunities by going out and saying, hey, this isn't the right fit. I need to move on. There's nothing wrong with that, guys. It's scary, but there's nothing wrong with that. So I want you guys to partner with a mentor, partner with someone that can give you some advice, or you can partner with me. You can find me on Instagram, Awaken the Leader, Facebook at Awaken the Leader Inside One. You can reach out to me on Twitter, Awaken the Leader. Reach out to me and let me know. Shoot me a message, and I can give you some advice. I'm trying to get more active on using social media, and eventually, hopefully next year, I'll create a group and all that so that we can discuss these types of things. But for now, you can reach out to me via email, via Instagram, Facebook. Find me on social media, and I love to hear like where you're at and hopefully be able to help you. So I want to tell you guys, sometimes we have to listen to our heart. Our heart kind of knows what we need to do. We just have to find the courage to take action. And that's scary. But I know you. I know you can do this. I know you can figure it out. And if you need me, I will always be here for you. But listen to your heart. It's served me well in my life. It's served me well in my career. And knowing when to make decisions based on what's happening inside. The only suggestion for you is don't do it by impulse. Really think through what's causing some of these issues. And I know you're smart enough to find a solution once you break it down. So thank you guys for tuning in. I just want to remind you guys, my wife and I have a storefront that we are selling mugs, teamrubalcavastore.com. And for every mug we sell, we donate $1 to St. Jude's Research Hospital, for cancer. I had a buddy of mine very close to me that lost his battle with cancer. And so this is our way to give back. So once again, thank you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you know anybody that needs help with leadership, share this podcast with them. Share it. It's cool to see the show is growing, but someone always needs some help. So share it with them. I appreciate it. If you've enjoyed this episode, please log on to iTunes and leave me a review. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. Stay tuned for the next podcast. Always remember, awaken the leader inside.